Good day, everybody. Welcome to another amazing episode of Life Theories. We've come together with our host, Diana, down in the US of A from Trailblazers of the Universe. We got Jay from WWHealth and Journey of a White Feather down in the Down Under Australia, and myself, Sarah, in Canada. And we are joining you today for this episode to talk about the effects of the 11/11 portal, everything that's gone on since the full moon lunar eclipse, and what was that other one? Mars retrograde. All of those really amazing, energetic things that are happening in our universe. We are here to talk to you about them, all of the effects of those things, what to expect, what we've gone through, and how we're thriving and getting used to all the changes and big things that are happening due to these amazing shifts going on. So what say you, Jay? What do you got to say about all this goodness?
What do I say? Yes, I've had 2 hours sleep, just as per usual. And when I get up here,
you're on a bender. You're on a bender again. Bender.
Yeah.
Okay, these benders, man. Anyway, it's been look, the acceleration in our development, I think, and what the messages that are coming through. We're becoming more. It's becoming more visible where we're supposed to go. I think we're growing in confidence. I think.
Yeah.
I think confidence in where we're going. There's a lot of stuff coming towards us. I think the big thing for me is actually, I think it's happening around everything around you is more visible as well. You can see people aren't part of the matrix, or they're not feeling it. Or sorry, not feeling it. What's the word we use? They're not. They're result. They're
I feel like what you're trying to say is like the veil of our perception of these people has thinned. So if we had a perception of them that wasn't necessarily based in truth, that veil is thinning, and we're starting to see the real version of the people we're interacting with, right?
I think they got. Yeah, I think it's. Well, basically, they're not feeling it. They're you can see the real people coming out, but also
yeah,
they're
it's
not
like they're
accepting
exposing
what's going
themselves
on.
as what they truly are, right?
Well, exactly. They can't feel they can't feel that there's a change happening, and they're wondering, hang on, what's going on? So like, hang on, there's something on me, or why am I saying that? And you can see straight through it. So people like us can see straight through it. But sum up the year. Fantastic things have happened. Like magnificent things have happened. But I'll tell you what, it's been very, very hard with all the stuff coming out, and some of the tests and lessons that we have to be put through in our new self. I mean, we've all done it. I can remember our chats. So you can see Sarah going, "Oh, I've done this," and Diane's going, "I've done this," and we all feel the same way. I mean, we were all sort of shedding that from going from caterpillar to moth, or shedding that skin, like the snake. In Native American medicine, so we're all transforming into the butterflies that we are. So,
yeah.
We just found out that the young lady downstairs, hopefully I'm in the right spot. I told her that she's Raven. I told you. I can see things. See, we are the Titans, and we've got the person who loves playing with fire next to us. How's life going, Starfire? I'm waiting for you to shoot. I'm waiting for you to shoot those.
Yeah, maybe I'll do some kind of cool effects with the editing. Fireball.
Hey, proved this week, didn't we? Look at young Raven down here. Oh, yeah, I've got control of the mystical powers upstairs. Yeah, told you did. Must be that pimp Mike.
So what Jay is going on about here is over the full moon lunar eclipse. I did my very first old world traditional full moon ceremony via witchcraft. And I went the non-occult witchcraft way. It's very, very traditional, very like old world. It reminds me a lot of it's sort of like shamanism, sort of like Native American medicine, but it's the people of European heritage and European cultures. So it's the type of medicine and healing of the earth that people would do before colonization happened. So, or in Europe before colonization happened. So, I was very called to get in touch with my spiritual roots over the last 6 months, and I really started investigating traditional witchcraft. And I found this amazing woman who she goes by Mia Magic, and I discovered her online, and I just started like I really felt this interesting vibe connection with her. We never actually spoke, but there was just something watching her videos where I felt like I get this chick. Like this seems right to me. And I just kept following her stuff. And she announced that she was doing a full moon lunar eclipse ceremony. I was like, you know what? I'm going to hop in on this. And I realized in her ceremony that all of the techniques and all of the things that I was doing intuitively in my healing practices, everything that when I would go to start to try to do Reiki, I could feel that I was no longer doing Reiki anymore and it had shifted into something else. But I could never really put my finger on what it had shifted into, but I knew it was powerful and I knew it was definitely helping people. So I kept doing it. And I didn't know what to label it or call it. I just kept calling it energy work. But as it turns out, I was intuitively using many traditional witchcraft techniques without even realizing what I was doing. So something inside of me just intuitively knew this is how to do that. And it all kind of came to fruition that, hey, this is what you're doing witchcraft. When I did the ceremony and she was going through all of these different steps, I'm like, hey, this is what I do. Hey, this is what I do. Hey, these are the things that I say when I'm doing my prayer or doing my end of day prayer, or when I'm doing my calling in the energies and angels. This is like, these are the words that I say when I'm starting my practices. So I didn't even realize that I was intuitively just using witchcraft, like traditional witchcraft. So a part of me must have been really connected to my ancestors, and my my spirit, my soul just knew that I have these gifts. I've always had these gifts. I've always been connected to it. And I was just innately, intuitively using them without realizing it. And I felt really liberating to finally discover and put a name to what it was that I was doing this whole time. So that's where I've been at. It's been an amazing experience. I'm so grateful for discovering Mia when I did, because I got to do that ceremony, which really lit a fire under my butt too, so to speak, to be that person that I've always wanted in my life to trust, and like that will, no matter what, will always be there to look out for me and love me on that level that I was looking for. It's like, holy fuck, like I'm just going to be that person. And now that I felt that connection and everything click in the ceremony, I'm like, I can be that person. I am that person. And now I'm making it happen. So I feel more in my power than I have my whole life. And I'm getting this like whole new confidence and like self-assuredness that like I've never had my entire life. So it's pretty amazing to step into.
I just think you're doing a wonderful job, and I think you're really getting into your sorcery type thing. Here we go, use He-Man, as I always love to, and all those other retro things. I think you're becoming a sorceress.
I always thought myself as She-Ra, Princess of Power.
Well, I reckon you're the sorceress of Castle Grayskull.
I mean, I could.
You are taking care of your power in the Castle Grayskull. You are the power. You take care. How about our young Starfire person over there, our Trailblazer of the Universe, the one who, like the Green Lantern, who takes care of the outer planes? How you going, Starfire?
Good. So, where do I begin with? So we've had a lot of energy shifts. We are in Mars retrograde till the beginning of January. We had the level 11 portal. We had the lunar eclipse. Right? The blood, beaver, moon, lunar eclipse, and Taurus. So a lot of things going on. Yeah, I like saying all those words. Mate. It makes me sound fancy.
How nice?
It makes it sound fancy.
How nice was the blood moon? How nice was to look at it? Oh, it's beautiful.
It was.
Are
really
you smudging?
Nice. Huh?
Oh, this one's smudging or doing
I have
something over
incense
here.
right now. I have lavender incense right now too.
Yeah,
Oh, I know.
I just lit a sage. I felt the energy that I just let out needed
That's
to
good,
be.
man.
Oh,
And I think that's a good thing too. I
brilliant.
I think right now what's coming up, kind of what I think the theme is like revelations, man. Like things are being revealed to us when you have all the energy shifts going on. More things are being revealed, and that's also what's being revealed. It's not just on a collective level, on an individual level, that these things that are not in alignment, these patterns keep coming up. But what I'm seeing now is a deeper understanding. Like, it can be something I already saw before, and I thought, and I'm like, oh, good, I think I passed this test. For instance, it could be for me something with my dad, maybe that I was working through building a healthy relationship with my dad. I did that Akashic reading with Jackie. It was very interesting. A lot of stuff came up with my past life karma and things I need to work on for this life and what's more in alignment with my purpose. So we went into a lot of that. And so I've been trying to work on some of the things that she said. And I noticed right when I think I've taken her tips on things, right when I've started to do that, I'm like, good. I'm like, oh, good, I passed this test. Then there's another layer or another level to whatever. And it's not just with my dad. It's like other things in my life. And I'm seeing things from a different light. And they say with the 1111 portal, right? They say everything is illuminated. And 1111 is the angel number. It's also with what you're saying, alignment, right? 1111 is alignment. Your alignment with your divine self. So it's going to show what is not in alignment with my divine self. There's going to be chaos when you're trying to, even it could be other people I was interested in, like maybe even guys I was attracted to before, right? I'm not attracted to some of them anymore because there's a misalignment, and I used to be attracted to them when I was in a different stage of my life, but now it's like I'm not attracted to the same types of people anymore. I'm going to say the same with, we talk about foods and stuff, music. A lot of things are just coming to light because your brain is in a pattern of doing certain things, right? Whether it's behaviors, could be music, could be food, could be bad habits, whatever, right? And then I step back into it because it's a pattern, but then I'm like, oh, this doesn't really feel too good, or there's something
That's
not
exactly
right
how
with
it
this.
is.
And it's people too, and it's going with friends. So this is friends, relationships, family members, just multiple areas of my life is just like, revelations like, oh, I'm seeing something from a completely different light that I didn't see before, and it's like it's always been right there in my face. And I think as the portal opened up and the eclipse, eclipse is all about transformation and things, just everything is like, wow. But the one good thing I am learning to do is be more of the observer, kind of sit back and detach a little bit. I wasn't able to from certain things, right? Certain things that really trigger me, even things with my dad. That's probably one of the biggest things, that's probably
Those are deep-seated ones. Those are those
well,
deep-seated
that
ones
goes into
anyway.
now, according to the Akashic record, we had two past lives dealing with the same. He was the dad in the two past lives too. My mom, that's a whole nother thing. So this is the same pattern, and that makes sense to why I'm still here, living here, because I know I could go right now, but I'm like, man, there's something I need to do, and I feel like if I left right now, like moved out, I would somehow be drawn back, or something would happen because it needs to be worked on for me to get to the next level, whether it's whether it's clear the karma, whether it's ascension, whatever it is, that's a negative energy pattern. And so I'm building healthy relationship patterns, not even with him, but with other people in my life. And I'm learning to kind of sit back and observe. And I think with the Aries stuff too, right? I can be a little more brash. I want to be more like, it's a little bit more of a masculine energy, right? I think because it's ruled by Mars.
Starfire, exactly what they're doing. Go and watch Titans. We're living the dream here. I'm telling you, I saw it. I might be the prophet or whatever you want to call me, but I saw it. I said, and I think I saw how we are, but have a look at us. I want you to know, I want you to go back about 10 episodes and have a look at the way we look and the way our energy is. We look all of us look absolutely, totally different energetically from what I can see.
Oh, you mean on episodes here? You know what? I tried watching some. I don't know. When I clicked on one of our really old ones, I was like, wow. Well, first of all, my hair was a different color even. So we're going back to like the dinosaur ages. But dude, that wasn't even that long ago. You know what I mean? But it feels
That's
long
what I mean.
in evolution, our spiritual evolution and personal development on all levels. It's just like that's a completely different energy for all of us, And it's really good to see the growth and stuff. And I think we have to give ourselves credit, because we're doing some heavy stuff. Look, some people choose not to be aware. Like, some people don't want to change something, and that's fine. We have to accept that. But we have a higher path. We have a vision we're working towards, and we've done a lot of work already. And there's more to go, but, like, we're clearing, I think, like, past life karma. We're clearing negative energy patterns. We're really, like, doing a lot of inner work. And sometimes you might feel like it's going slow or, like, not enough. But you have to think where you came from. You're going in the right direction. Some people are going backwards, or they're just staying still. We're at least progressing. It just some stages, like there's seasons and cycles. Sometimes it's a little bit slower. There's patterns. There's things that need to be resolved before we can go to the next. And we're always want instant gratification, like I say. But this is years and years of patterns, so they're gonna happen overnight. And just give yourself credit for all the progress we made. I've seen progress from all you guys. I know we just met like a year ago, but it feels like I've known you guys for years. But already since we met, I've seen a significant change in the energy. Like the aura seems different, right? And just our development and the way we're thinking and talking. Like you can tell the things we were concerned about before, give it like 10 episodes ago, right, are different from the things that we're concerned about now. It's like a different level.
Are we coming out in our true selves?
Getting there, yeah.
I think we are.
Excuse me.
I don't really care anymore. I'm just like, I'm standing in my thing, and I know what I want to do. I have a vision, and I'm not letting people deter me. Now I've learned to become more of the observer. I'm finally standing back. I'm paying attention to the patterns, and it's the same people, the same patterns. It's very clear on the people that want to see me do well and the people that don't. Very clear. It's almost like, oh my goodness. It's like, because I'm seeing the behavior patterns. I don't know if that's conscious on their end or not. Sometimes I think it is. Sometimes I think people are just programmed, or they get taken over by negative whatever entities, whatever you want to call it. But it's just very revelations. That's why I was saying the topic. I probably named this episode Revelations, because it's just like you're revealing the witch stuff. I'm revealing the Akashic Record stuff about past karma, about being from some parallel universe, different dimension stuff like that, going into all that stuff. You're figuring out more who you are and what you want to do, and it's becoming, the path is being more clear now. And I'm not saying we have to stick on one path, but it's pretty like
our true selves
we
are
at least
coming
know
out,
what
like,
direction. It's pretty clear what direction. Okay, we might
sorry.
have other things. We're multidimensional, so you might be interested in this and that, but other things will come along naturally. It's very clear to me what I don't want now. So I'm just kind of letting the rest flow in naturally and not being fixated on one thing, because we're multidimensional. I think there's a lot we could do. Like once you start getting into one thing, other things will open up too,
The story of life and the teachings we do, I think we've had the greatest lessons of our lives. I mean, we can sit here now, we can talk about it, but we've done some heavy stuff, really. Let's be honest.
Shadow work, man. Some heavy shadow work that like most people don't even want to look at the shadow, even though the shadow has engulfed them and is like literally. Like, look,
you're not wrong.
You can see my shadow in the picture, right? But
let's go back before the shadow. How about going back before the shadow? The bloody life we led there. I mean, 20 series book on all the crap that we went through, and when you do your shadow work, you go, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
The shadow work stuff, like, oh my god. So 2 weeks ago, like I had done a lot of shadow work, and like for a long time, you guys even asked me to do a meditation on Chill Pill Wednesdays of shadow work. And I kept saying, no, I'm not ready to go there. Not ready to go there. I finally did another huge round of shadow work over the last little bit. And I released a lot. And I started, like Diana was saying, becoming the observer. But I was becoming the observer of myself. And I was really like, I was watching, because like I keep reciting the motto, I am responsible for everything. Because we are responsible for the energy that we draw into our lives, and we are responsible on a really deep level for what happens around us. So I keep saying that to myself, and I keep putting myself in a position of observing myself and what I'm doing, and if there's something that I could be doing to make the outcomes different, or to make my life better, or to make people's lives around me better. I'm just observing my actions and reactions and everything going on within me. And I started, I got through a bunch of my shadow work, and everything was going really well. And then I announced on Instagram that, hey, I'm going to do shadow work. And then a bunch of my shadow kept coming up again. And I'm really excited to do that shadow work meditation, because I haven't put this much work into planning the pre-chat and the actual meditation. I usually do it all intuitively and just on the cuff. When I go live, and it's I have a rough outline of what I'm going to do, but everything just happens organically and intuitively. But this meditation, I put a lot of work into. I put a lot of time into the write up of shadow work and like what I'm going to say before the meditation starts. But every time I'm like, hey, we're going to do shadow work, my shadow comes back. It's like, you're not ready to share this with people. And so I keep having a really, really rough day, the day that I'm supposed to share that meditation. And because shadow work demands a lot of energy and it demands a lot of respect as well, I've decided to kind of put that one on hold um, until I'm in a better place and I've dealt with my
Yeah.
shadow 100% completely, because I don't want to bring my unhealed trauma into the room to help other people heal theirs. And in the last 2 weeks, the shadow that I thought I dealt with has come up to bite me in the butt. But today, I actually feel like, for the first time since I announced that meditation, that I actually could host a room in that light and on that topic. So it's really interesting that it was like I did my shadow work and then I wrote a whole meditation on shadow work to share with people, and then my shadow's like, we're not done yet. So it's kind of a funny like turn of events. But in that whole turn of events, I have, like what Diana was saying, really become the observer of absolutely everything going on from me, within me, around me. And it's been really interesting. I actually had a mild out of body experience when I was talking to my roommate, and I really, really, really wanted to interrupt him because I was feeling triggered. But rather than jumping down his throat and being like, "You're wrong. That's not the thing," blah, blah, I actually just watched myself quietly and watched myself quiet myself and quiet down, let him finish saying what he had to say, which was completely inaccurate and triggering the heck out of me. And once I let him say it, I was like, hey, so, or like he finished saying what he had to say and didn't let him say it. I allowed him to finish. And then I was like, okay, so just so you know, that's not correct. It's actually this, and this is what we stated. And I literally felt myself having an out of body experience watching myself deal with a trigger in a way that I never had before, which was the proper way, instead of just jumping down his throat and interrupting him with my opinion on how wrong he was. I allowed him to state what he had to say in the wrong manner. And then I corrected him when he was done talking. And he's like, oh, wow. He's like, did this just happen? He's like, did you just correct me and let me know that I was wrong in a way that wasn't triggering for both of us? And I was like, yeah, I was really triggered, but I handled it like this. He's like, I almost feel like I saw you processing that as I was talking. And it was like the most bizarre thing ever. Like I felt like I was watching the whole situation, and like a part of me was stopping myself from making the interruption. And it was like, it was actually really beautiful to watch me react that way for the first time, when I was like really triggered by somebody being inaccurate about my feelings and what I've expressed in the past. So yeah, that was like a huge first step. And then he like high-fived me at the end, and he's like, did we really just like have an adult conversation about something triggering without interrupting
Adult.
each other and triggering each other further? I'm like, I think we did. He's like, can we high five on that? It was great.
I would too. I mean, the amount of bloody arguments. I mean, this is what the spot fires are about with Mars retrograde. People are sort of like, people want to have a voice or something. It's just like, it's not like it's total chaos. Like Diana was saying, like you got Mercury, which is total bloody chaos, but Mars is like this intense planet, if you know what I mean. It's intense in the way that people verbally come out and the results of it, but also it's a very tense sort of time. There's sort of people on eggs walking on eggshells. But I think
Yeah.
I think that's affecting us a lot. I know my friend down here. You have to meet her. She's another child of the earth. As I said, the other Wonder Twin. Now, bloody superheroes can't help it. But I just feel like, as I said, people are trying to work out, hang on, what's going on. They're not accepting of what's going on because they haven't done that shadow work, as Di said. And there's just these conflicts. And I see things really trying to fall down. Like people, like you can be shifty for so long. For example, you can say, "Oh, I've got this under control," but then when the real comes out, when it really comes out, you got no choice. The universe just says, "I'm going to make this thing fall on you because you deserve it because you've been playing funny buggers for so long." And it does, and then they don't know what to do, or they're trying to save. They're trying to make the save. If that makes any sense.
For instance, that happened with me too. Like, with my dad, I've been trying to have a healthy relationship with him, and he said things, literally the things that trigger this. Even stuff about what happened with my mom and stuff. The way he says certain things, he's very like, no empathy kind of stuff. And me and my brother both kind of experienced that, right? He said certain things, and so I sat there. I was working from home on Friday, so I sat there with him. I actually sat and ate lunch with him, had Chick-fil-A, whatever, brought food, and I sat and had a conversation without me being tense. My energy didn't feel tense at all. And I think it's also what Jack gave me some soul restoration, whatever video. That's a weird trippy thing. But and I've been saying some affirmations for like 21 days. So that's pretty cool. So I think that's doing something.
Yeah, Jackie's affirmations are great.
And she put some requests in for the Akasha Records to clear some stuff and to give me different spirits of protection and new spirit guides. There's a lot of stuff. I was like, you can just put in requests like that? Okay, but anyway, that's cool. You can put in an order. Cool. Thank you. She probably saved my life. So I was finally able to sit and talk to my dad. I wasn't all tense. I wasn't like, he said some stuff that most probably anyone, I can't even talk about on here, but most people would probably be triggered by something like this, especially when something like that happened to your mom. But I actually sat back and I observed his behavior and I observed everything. And I it's almost like you said, hour by experience, right? I kind of saw this from a completely outside perspective. Like, I saw myself kind of sitting there. I'm not saying I had a complete out by experience, but it felt like, because I felt detached. I've never felt detached when having a conversation with my dad. So I sat there, ate lunch with him, and he said some things, and I was like, oh, well, he went to Cancun. I just dropped him off. Whatever. We'll see what happens to him there. But he went there.
He's going to Cancun?
He's going for a week with 25 people to Cancun.
For what reason? Because all I know is I remember the real Cancun movie. I mean, they go nuts.
Well, listen.
It's like me going to Ibiza.
What I want to say is he's 65. He still thinks he's a frat guy, and this is a lot of the stuff that my mom, he's like, your mom would never let me go and stuff. Even when he drinks here, he goes out, a lot, and some of the behaviors he does. I know there's other women. Basically, it's kind of all coming to light. It's another thing with the revelation, right? I did have a conversation with him. Even he talked about going on this trip. He talked about a lot of different things about my mom, how the last time he saw her, and different things. And,
do you feel you're mentoring him?
So here's the thing. In a way, I feel like because of what happened in this past life, yeah, this is part of the karma I have with him too. I'm supposed to develop a healthy relationship pattern and kind of like, but look, I realize he's kind of a lost cause, to be honest, but I've said certain things to plant certain things. Doesn't mean he's going to do anything, but sometimes he does repeat things I said, some advice I didn't think he even listened, right, to, and he'll say something, so it's doing something, but I think he's kind of too far gone in the 3D and the Matrix and whatever you want to call it, in his lower chakras, as I would say, very attached to the money, right, women, like, it's just very, like, nothing deep, nothing spiritual, nothing divine. So, and I was a little concerned about him going on this trip for a week there to another country, because, and your wife just, what, I mean, I'm a little bit, but this is what Jackie told me too. She said, I also need to learn to step back and allow him to be himself who he is without getting triggered and without worrying about what's going to happen to him, because this is something that went back to a past life too, where the way he died was, and I took guilt for it in a past life. So, and it's kind of weird that he's going now, and so it's kind of a weird thing. But I'll explain more off. I mean, it's kind of deep. It's kind of.
It's like you're going through. It's like going through your inner child. Like when when you get out of a. It's funny when you get out of something like a prison. Prison of your mind, prison of your heart, and all those kind of things. You want to do things because you go, I was not allowed to. I mean, we all do it. I mean, I did it. I know that. But I think it's getting used to that energy, and then your ego as well. You sort of you're exposed to a new level of your ego, if that makes any sense.
But he got a rush out of that stuff, out of lying to my mom. And I think because she's not here, he kind of tries to tell me to get some kind of rise out of me. And for once, I had no reaction. And so I think I'm starting to pass the test. I was like, dude, he's like a little kid this whole time in my life. I let him affect me. He's literally like a kid that's he's a very wounded male, man, that has really never grown up out of his frat guy, out of his youth. I think he has some really severe trauma.
I'm only saying this one because I think I was in some way similar. Would it be ignored? Trying to prove. First thing that comes to my head is trying to prove something. Like when you're trying to be seen and trying to prove and trying to have a voice, because someone wouldn't let him. So it had
His
to be
mom was a
had to be a
nagging
mother or
Italian
father figure.
woman.
It's narcissistic behavior. Let's be honest, eh?
It's just seeing a narcissist, seeing the behavior, and seeing the parents. I'm watching some more narcissist stuff on TikTok. They have a bunch of narc TikTok. Of course, there's TikTok for everything. But I always like to. Now I'm being more the investigator. I kind of just want to like, what caused this person to be like that? But I have to realize I might never have the answer, and the person's gonna lie anyway. So like, and what I think might be the answer, might be a lot more layers to it. So it's just like, it's kind of just like accepting that this person is where they're at. And I'm where I'm at, and I have to kind of detach and not let that affect me. I know a lot of it's inner child. We be going back to previous lives, inner child, this life, right? We're going to trauma and stuff, and like it just kind of allowing the person to be who they are, and they make their choices, man. We make our choices, and but it's hard because you see someone going on a downward spiral, and you want to help them, but as someone that went down one myself, I know nobody could bring me out of it, and you just have to kind of allow it, and it kind of hurts to watch, and hopefully nothing bad happens while I was kind of, I don't know, I have a weird bad feeling, man, but I have to let it go. There's nothing I can do about whatever happens.
You were saying the other day too, Di, about people, was it you or Sarah? One of them was saying that we're losing a lot of people very, very quickly.
I had 2 more people I know die. Another guy. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, these are.
We were both actually kind of talking about that.
man.
I know like 4 people in the last couple of months that have had heart attacks that are like under 40. 2 of them died.
Or just
Ooh,
random
life
ways
theories.
of dying.
Here we
man.
go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Life theories. We can go down that path, but let's leave that. We can sort of use another term like sunny side up or something. If you get where I'm going.
They've gone sunny side up.
Well, not even that. I'm talking about sunny side up, meaning how it all has happened. Well, is it supposed to be? Is it like, is the angel the angel of death coming, like in Charmed? The angel, is it their time, or is it forced? I don't know. Like, everyone's trying to change. You're trying to break the flow of the universe and break, I guess, the harmony between, like, us being Earth people and pagans, if you want, wherever you want to put it, connected from the universe, us and the Earth. We're those warriors, and now we're starting to connect more with it, really connect more, and people are still trying to break that flow because of their narcissistic ways. But also, is it breaking the flow with all these things happening? Is it supposed to happen, or they change their destiny? There's some next level thinking.
Yeah. Well, in mediumship and stuff like that, like in learning what I learned so far in talking to spirit and people who've passed on, and this is kind of like, this might trigger a few people. This is kind of an interesting take on things, and it kind of ties into what you were saying too. Like, can we change our destiny? For the most part, the date and the year in which our life expires, like the age that we expire at, is predetermined.
I heard that too in Dolores Canyon. Yeah.
It's part of like your soul contract before your soul enters into a body, or your soul chooses a body to work with. It is predetermined. These are the people that you will be affected by and affected with the most. These are the people you're intermingling with. These are the people you'll be stationed with. And this is how long you're going to last. This is your expiry date. That date is always within the year. Now, there are ways that you can, most of us, almost all of us, do not know when our personal expiry date is. Some mediums and some spiritual workers are able to look at a person and know when that person's expiry date is.
Oh, wow.
I knew my old Reiki master was like that. She's like, every person I look at, I know when they're going to die and how. But I don't talk about that with them because that changes the outcome of things. Because it starts to get them in their fear centers, and not everybody's ready to hear that. So I don't tell anybody their expiry date, but I know everybody's. And
What,
she
you
was
know
also
everyone's
saying,
expiry date?
I don't know, but my old Reiki master did.
Okay.
And she was saying that it's not a good thing to discuss with people
I
or
think
let
so. Yeah, I
people
agree
know
with that.
because you
Yeah.
never know how they're going to take it, and their fear centers might take over and it changes destiny. So you
Yeah,
can't tell people what their expiry date is as a medium, even if you know. And she was saying as well that it's very difficult to change that expiry date. It is easy to change how it happens and exactly when, but if you're meant to go at 36 at some time between your 36th birthday and your 37th, you will expire.
okay.
So whether it's you had some sort of health karma and you got sick with, let's say, cancer, and
Yeah.
then, oh my gosh, the cancer miraculously got better because you fixed your karma around health, but then you die in a car accident that same year. You're meant to go, and you're going to go no matter what. If your expiry date is 37, you're going to die sometime in your 37th year.
Is that
If it's
why?
75, you're going to die in your 75th year. So the changing of the destiny can only do so much to changing the outcome of when your expiry date is. We all have one. We all come into the earth with one. We've decided amongst ourselves with our soul group that we incarnate with who's going to go when, why, and who's helping who from the other side. Where we all need helpers from the other side to make our manifestations come into fruition, to keep things in synchronicity. We all help each other on a soul level, whether we've passed on or we're in bodies or not. Most of our soul family, believe it or not, isn't even alive and incarnate when we are, because they have to help us from the other side.
Yeah.
So you, as sad as it is to lose people at a young age, you can't really change that, and you can't change the destiny of when people are going to leave. It's been decided, and there's a lot of it coming up. And I think from what I've gathered on this, I've been watching a lot of Greg Braden talking about like the mass human extinction that's happening, and it's like this cycle that happens on the planet with extinction. And he said there's more people on the planet, and this is what I'm getting from Spirit and Source too. There's more people now on the planet than ever before.
Yeah.
And there's more of them dying young than ever before, because the people that are stationed here need the souls that they've connected with to help them on the other side to get through the ascension that we're going through.
That's
right
you
now.
said with Eddie too. You said that, yeah.
Yeah,
crazy,
it's a really common theme that I pick up in mediumship. It's like we're all here helping each other. We're all come and go at the times that we do for a reason. And as sad as it is to lose the physical person, know that they're still right there with you, because
you're connected,
you're
man.
assigned to each other.
Yeah, you're still connected.
You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
They're just that body isn't in your vicinity anymore, but the energy is. So yeah, that was a really long-winded way to tell you that you can't really change that. We're all here for a reason. We all go for a reason at the time that we do, and you can't really change that much, because it is determined that if I go at this time, I can help you with this, this, and this during your ascension process and the rest of your life from the other side. So to sit there pining over a person who's passed also hurts them, because they're just trying to help you the way that your souls agreed on in the first place. And when you're sitting there stuck in your sorrow and your sadness, that the physical body is no longer there, they're unable to help you do the thing that they came to do. So feel your pain when your friends die and your loved ones die. Feel it, let it process, do the thing, but don't hold on to that forever. They don't want that, and you shouldn't be living your life like that, because they all came and went for a reason.
I was going to say it's like a choose your own adventure book, isn't it? Really, let's be honest. We could. You got your expiry. We're talking expiry dates, right? Which which is pretty confronting in a lot of ways. But
yeah, as I'm Diana sorry said, it's triggering to people. I bring it up from a very non-partisan.
Absolutely.
This is just the facts that I hear.
Yeah. No, I'm just it is confronting in some ways. So, but which some people will have that, but with where we are, we're okay with it. But we have a look at it's funny enough, choose your own adventure books. You got an end one, but you got an end wherever it may be, but it depends on where you go with it. I mean, you probably have destiny where it is, but you bring this karma in and all this other stuff, right, that you understand, and these life lessons. So we could keep on the same path that we were if we don't learn our lessons. We're here to teach ourselves and learn what we've done, and we've been through it. Everyone's been through it bloody hard, but we've got through to a point where we'll go through the next door. We can either go through the same door, we can take a left and go through another door that after we've learnt that, bang, it's like winning a level in Mario or something, you know what I mean? If you want to put it that way, you're winning a level in Mario and then you move up to the next level, you know what I mean? So it's funny how that analogy is working in life if you look at it. So you got the easy level and suddenly it gets harder and harder, and that's what happens when we start to become more aware. Do we want to walk the shadow? I mean, it took me 10 years to walk the shadow. I know it was there. I remember 10 years ago when I came out, I had the wolf was standing there going, come on, let's go to the black. Let's go to the black. And I'm thinking, oh, what's that? You know, all the scary stuff, the fears, mate, that was deep-seated crap. That was the fears that was basically in your mind where you got to walk that shadow. And I did. And here I am today with you guys. I'm very blessed. And we're going to get going. Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for attending our session of Life Theories with the Titans. Raven downstairs, from where I'm sitting anyway. Raven downstairs and poor Sarah Big Soul got it right finally. Oh, I shouldn't sleep so much. Anyway, Small Sarah Big Soul on TikTok and Instagram. And also if you want to jump on, make sure you comment, and if you want to speak to her about her services or her skills and her powers, she'll be able to help you out. We've got our local astronaut, I'm going to say astronaut, star child, lady of space, lady of out there space, outer space, Trailblazers of the Universe, Diana. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and share. # Life Theories, # all of us. We love you. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next week on Life Theories. Take care, and also I'm Jay from Journey of a White Feather, and Wild Child Watch Tribute Australia. Anyway, you take care. We'll catch you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Catch you later, everyone.